The January 25th, 2017 Longview Metropolitan Planning Organization Board meeting is now called to order. We'll have welcome introductions by Ms. Karen Owens, Longview MPO.
Good morning, Mayor. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to extend a warm welcome to folks who have attended our meeting today. I'd like to do some introduction to some special guests that we have here today. I'd like to lead off by introducing a new board member for the MPO Policy Board. His name is Philip Malden, and he's the Harrison County Commissioner for the western section of Harrison County. He replaces James Greer, who retired in December. And Mr. Malden, thank you for being here today, and we welcome you to our board.
All right, well, thank you, Karen, and I'm looking forward to serving with you guys, getting to know everybody a little better. I'd like to especially thank Karen. We spent about 40 minutes on the phone the other day. She was catching me up to date of what's going on and what my role is, and my predecessor failed to tell me that I'd be on this board, so I learned a lot from Karen the other day. So, but I'm glad to be here.
Great, welcome. I also would like to introduce, we have two distinguished guests from the Federal Highway Administration. We have Mike Leary, who's the Director of Planning for the Texas Division. Thank you, Mike, for being here today. We have Justin Morgan. He is our transportation planner. He is our interface with Federal Highways for our MPO. Nick Page is here with the TxDOT Division in Austin for planning. And then also with the NetRMA, we have Linda Thomas, who's the chair of our Northeast Texas Regional Mobility Authority, and Chris Miller is here as well, their executive director. And Dan Droege, one of their board members. So thank y'all for being here and welcome.
And don't worry about not knowing you're on this board. I was 6 months in before I knew I was supposed to be here either, so not to worry. We need to approve the minutes of the December 7, 2016 meeting. Has anyone had a chance to review those minutes? Any questions about those?
Make a motion to approve as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. We need to approve the revisions to the MPO Transportation Plan 2040. Karen.
Thank you, Mayor. Chairman, MPO board members, for your consideration and approval, I bring 3 projects for addition into the long-term transportation plan. As you may remember, back in December, these projects were presented to the board for initial review, and a 30-day public comment period and review period began. The projects are Highway 42, US 271, and Loop 485 in Gladewater. These projects will be placed in the unfunded list of the long-range plan. And while we're revising the MTP for cleanup purposes, we'll remove the intersection project of US 259 at Eden and Tryon Road due to lack of support. In red on this map, you'll notice the Highway 42 project. You can basically see the Longview area, White Oak, and Gladewater as well. Highway 42 extends from US 80 down to Interstate 20, and the project scope is to widen 42 from 2 to 4 lanes. This is a challenging project, as many of you know, because of the presence of the East Texas oil field near the right-of-way. But Highway 42 has been a high priority for this board over the years. We've done some intermediate safety work out there over the years in lieu of widening it because of the cost. But it is an important connector, and I think it's certainly time that, and TxDOT realizes the importance of this project. It's an important connector to I-20, and it carries a high volume of traffic in addition to freight and heavy truck traffic. Also in red are the US 271 route that connects the Tyler segments of toll 49, excuse me. Some of the segments on US 271 are currently 4 lanes. What we want to do is to take a look at that and widen those sections that are only 2 lanes and widen them to 2. This next map shows, and it's a map that I borrowed from one of Chris Miller's presentations. This next map shows the significance of US 271 that's dashed in black that connects the Tyler segments of toll 49 to the toll 49 segments. Near Tyler, you'll notice in blue, the toll 49 segments are already open to traffic, and the orange and green to the northwest and off to the east of Tyler are planned sections. Other future sections in purple and yellow are north of Gladewater and Longview, and these sections of toll 49 connect 271 all the way over north of Marshall to Highway 59, which is the future I-69. Improvements to 271 along with Loop 485 are important links that connect Tyler and Longview, north of Gladewater, to bring these two toll facilities together. I do want to be very clear, though, that any improvements to US 271, these projects on 271 and Loop 45 would not be tolled highways, but merely as a connector to these two segments. By adding these priority projects to the long-range plan, this is going to allow TxDOT to begin the environmental studies as well as schematics for sections of these projects. Typically, the schematics and environmentals take about 2+ years to complete, and these studies will allow for the project to be developed further and give us better project estimates. I do want to be very clear to the board and those present here today that we do not have the construction funds yet for these 3 projects. But what we do have is funding for TxDOT to develop them and examine them for future study. As our usual practice, if and when we do get the construction funds, these lengthy projects will be split into phases. Adding these 3 highways to the long-range plan does not change our priority order for our current and existing priority projects. The MPO Technical Committee recommends that these 3 projects be forwarded to this board for inclusion into the MTP. And in closing, I'd like to say that during the public comment period, no public comments were received. However, as many of you know, in the past, we've repeatedly heard requests for widening 42 from the public. That concludes my remarks on this item. Are there any questions or comments from the board or from the public?
Karen, I'd just like to say, all 3 of these projects are going to be monumentally important for the growth of our area in East Texas over the next however many years this takes place. So to get them on the list now is it's very good for us to get this process, because it's a process, as you said, it takes a while. But if we don't start, we'll never complete. So I appreciate the diligence and willingness to put these projects forward, and I'm very confident TxDOT will be on board with us when it comes time to funding these projects. So I appreciate that, because I know it's going to, the connectivity this allows our area is very, very important for the growth of us, especially the I-69 corridor coming through. That's going to be a huge thoroughfare for travel. So thank you very much.
Okay.
Any other comments? We need a motion to approve this.
I so move.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Now approve the resolution in support of the US 271 project. Ms. Owen.
Thank you, Mayor. The Northeast Texas Regional Mobility Authority has asked the MPO, and they've approached us, along with other cities in our region, to consider passing a resolution in support of US 271 between Interstate 20 and Paris, Texas. US 271 serves as an invaluable connection between Interstate 20s and Interstate 30. By providing connectivity through East Texas, US 271 also provides great connectivity throughout other areas of the state. Overall mobility, safety, and essentially economic success in the region will be substantially improved by this project. In your handouts, there's a complete resolution in support of the project, along with some statistics and a map. And in December, the Longview City Council passed a resolution, one that's similar to this one, to lend their support. And at this time, I'd like to ask Chris Miller to come up and say a few words on behalf of the RMA.
Morning. Thank you, Ms. Owen. Certainly appreciate that you were considering this resolution. This is a kind of a big effort of our board. We've got our long-range planning committee, which is working on this. Dave Spurrier is a member of that committee, a member of our board, and a representative from Gregg County on the Net RMA board. And what we're trying to do is get, as Ms. Owen indicated, from Smith County all the way up to Lamar County, the support, advocacy to urge TxDOT to accelerate the funding commitments that they want to make and the improvements that they want to make on 271. We know that there's going to be improvements between Gladewater and Tyler on 271 to widen it. I think the plan is for that's like in 2025, I believe, as we are told. And what we'd like to do is, because of the significance of this corridor, is urge a little quicker time frame on that, try to reallocate some funding, whatever. And we're working closely with Commissioner Austin with the Texas Highway Commission. And you're seeing a very effective effort of trying to get the advocacy underway. And we did obviously got the support of Gregg County very early on, and we've got a number of other counties that have given their support, and cities. And so we are very appreciative of your consideration of this. Our goal is obviously to help this project along, to really highlight this corridor as a significant corridor for East Texas, Northeast Texas, and it really has nothing to do with Toll 49. I think that's, yes, we know that Toll 49 ultimately is going to come through here with the segments 6 and 7 and 8. But this is more about right now, how can we try to accelerate the funding so that we can get this corridor to be the type of real corridor that's going to be a big economic impact for this region. So we appreciate your consideration. And as you know, you have our chair, Ms. Thomas, and we have Dan Droege is also here from our board. And so I'm the spokesman, but they obviously can lend a heck of a lot more than I can. So thank you.
Mr. Miller, thank you, and for all y'all at that RMA board for pushing this project and fighting for us, because this is going to once again benefit the entire East Texas region. So thank you all for your persistence, and we look forward to partnering with you all as we continue forward. This requires a motion. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all so much. We'll now approve the revision of the 2017 to 2020 Transportation Improvement Program. Brent Bradberry.
Thank you, Mayor. We're proposing today to add 2 pavement projects for FY 2018 to our 2017 to 2020 Transportation Improvement Program. We brought these 2 projects to the Policy Board earlier this month, and they have been reviewed by the Technical Committee. And after review, they have proposed these projects also be added to the Transportation Improvement Program. And these 2 projects are FM 1844 and State Highway 300. We also held a 30-day public comment period for these 2 projects from December 7th to January 7th, and we did not receive comments for these 2 projects either. FM 1844 consists of widening from 24 to 28 feet and repair and resurfacing the roadway. And this project is from State Highway 300 east to Judson Road for a cost of about $3.5 million. State Highway 300 consists of repair and resurfacing the roadway from US 80 north to George Ritchie for approximate cost of $2.14 million. These projects came about from Category 2 funding from Proposition 1 and Proposition 7 for 2018. In addition, we're also adding the projects Karen mentioned earlier, the US 271, Loop 45, and the State Highway 42 projects. We're adding those to FY 2017 so TxDOT can begin their work. Even though these projects won't be constructed during this time frame of this planning document, we have to get these on the list so they can begin their work. And there's a map just showing where these 2 projects are located. FM 1844 is a project in blue running east to west, and State Highway 300 is the other project in blue running from north to south. And that concludes the presentation of the TIP revisions for 2017 to 2020.
Brent, 1844, is that going from Judson Road to 300? Is that the stretch we're talking about?
Yes, sir.
That 2-lane that we're talking about there?
Yes, sir.
Okay, very good, thank you. Any questions? This does require a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Thank you very much. We're now to citizen comment. I have no speaker cards. Does anybody like to speak this morning? Very good. Staff comments?
Mayor, I have no further comments.
With that, then, one thing, gentlemen, I appreciate y'all being here once again and the work that's being done with this board. This is significant for our area, and it does make a big difference, and I appreciate your attendance and your diligence to work. If y'all would all give Karen your sizes, y'all are a little bit underdressed today. I'm gonna get y'all some scrubs to wear next time so y'all don't feel so underdressed. I'll get all y'all a pair, and y'all can wear them when you're up here, and we'll all feel better about it, okay? This meeting's adjourned.